going to take off and go live in an island and where only the rich people live. Okay. Well, I got news for Raylan. She said, but the poor people can come. They can be our servants. Well, she thinks, apparently, that she is above all of this. I don't think so.
Where do I go to do that?
I don't think that anyone is above all of this. We have got to take a look at it for what it is. And it's a sick bunch of puppies out there that think that they are gods. And I am including, at this point, I'm including Raylan Weisbacher, because I do believe she dropped her little, and so do others. We feel as though she has dropped her situation there with her live-in, and she's gone to Jean Valentine. Taking Jean Valentine is just her answer to all of her problems. She took her dogs, and when you take your dogs, you're not intending to stay there, to go back. Well, people aren't contributing to rumor mill right now for obvious reasons.
Now,
right now they're in talk, and I said to another associate, I said, well, if rumor mill is so freaking broke, after all of those pop-up ads that they get paid for every time we have to click them off, and after all of our computers that have been accessed, I said, if rumor mill is so damn broke, then why don't she have her boyfriend, Jean Valentine, bail her out? Right now, today, and I'm not saying this out of sour grapes. I'm saying this because it's fact. Okay? Right now, today, they're advertising that they need money. Again, they got to have it now. Now. What? I think the people have had enough of this. And when they deliberately slandered me, to keep my information as Watcher 51445 from getting out to the people, because I was telling the people what Jean Valentine and his group of people were doing, that's when Raylan started having a problem. Right now, they're posting they need 525 more, right? Dollars, right? More, right now. I got news for them. I think they need to find out why this is a Central Intelligence Agency operation. Rumor mill is. Why isn't the Central Intelligence Agency backing them? Why isn't Jean Valentine an active Central Intelligence agent backing them? Why isn't Jean Valentine a quote Mason who is not a Mason, but he's infiltrated their group? He's infiltrated the Masonic group to cause them harm. And once they find out what Jean Valentine has done, they're going to cut his yin-yang off and feed it to him. That's what will happen to Jean Valentine.
Now, let me stop you for just a second. Now, this Jean Valentine, I've been in the Patriot movement for a long time, and where did he come from? I have never heard of him before you ran into him. Where did he come from? What was he trying to do?
Well, he was associated with Lyndon LaRouche. That's how he came to me, was to get underwriting for Lyndon on that water project of Lyndon's. And then it was just one back. Then came the bogus financial spreadsheets. And believe me, they're bogus. And once everybody finds out that Gene Valentine is bogus, and those that he's working with are bogus, that they're threatening everybody to keep their mouths shut.
They tried that with me. He sent me an email.
Well, this is their MO. They threaten everybody. And people are, most people don't know who in the hell they are. But this is like having a rattlesnake in your house and your lights turned off and there's no buttons on that damn rattler. That's your Gene Valentine. He's tied right straight in with Jamie Dimon and little Timmy Gaitner. Now, you tell me we haven't got problems with that bunch of knuckleheads up there.
We've always had this. These
Yes,
bankers.
but we haven't had it to the point where we can zero in. We've always had the shotgun approach. Right now, we're using the rifle approach. You go right straight in on it.
We've got, I saw some figures came across my desk, Grandma, of the millions and millions, possibly even billions, being spent on advertising for the various political parties, for the Republicans and the Democrats. I mean, they're throwing billions of dollars to where? Oh, let's see, the media companies that are owned by the same bankers.
In the early 1860s, they had to get rid of the Whigs and the Tories because of the same situation that's going on right now. They changed the Whigs and the Tories to the Republicans and the Democrats.
I call them two wings of the same bird, and the bird's a global vulture. It ain't an eagle.
There you go.
So if these people are manipulating, we're talking about the Treasury Secretary, you're talking about Timothy Geithner, and they're trying to make it illegal for us to even criticize him or question him.
Okay.
I mean, we're not even allowed to ask for a president's birth certificate. I mean, it seemed like something wrong with that. That's actually what we were supposed to talk about today. Where's the...
Well, they're making it illegal that you cannot talk about the gays. You can't even mention that alternative lifestyle when all of your congressional officers and your White House, every political office is full of them, and you look at what the Third Reich had, what it was full of. The SS was full of what? Answer my question. What were they full of?
What were they called? What?
They were gays.
Gangs.
Gay people. The men were gay.
Oh, okay.
And we've got the same damn thing going on here now.
Well, Obama's real proud of all he's doing for the gay folks because, he's gay too.
If I were his wife, I don't think I could look my family in the face.
I don't think we know.
They take all those plane loads of people out on a vacation, costing the American people all that money for them to go on a vacation.
Grandma, you are old enough to remember some of this. What happened after World War II? I mean, we brought in we created Israel, we created the United Nations, we turned over and You know, this was like the next step from 1913 and 1933. You know, they moved on us incrementally in steps. Now we're faced to we're to the point where we've got the military set and being trained to go after us, the American people.
Well, what just happened in Germany, damn it?
What happened in Germany and what happened in Russia, I say it's happening here, it's happening now, right now.
And it's happening now.
And who do we...
You know, and I talked to an individual, and I hate to be a potty mouth. I hate to be a potty mouth. I never did swear until after Russell passed, after he was murdered. But I talked to a man this morning, and here I am, I can't even afford an ink cartridge. And I've been out there just begging for financial help. And everybody's just sitting there laughing their kahunas off. And you know what I said? I said, you know, my time has become very precious to me. Now, myself and others, and Uncle John and the rest of us, we've stood here and we've cried and cried and cried and begged everybody, guys, come on, wake up, your country's in jeopardy. Wake up. You've got to help defend this nation. We've got to protect this nation. You've got the communists and the Nazis right now battling for our very lives, our very souls of this nation. They're overthrowing our 10th Amendment government. They're making illegal executive orders. They're passing illegal laws. All of us have stood here and screamed until we are blind and out of breath, and we're sitting here watching. And we've warned the people. They're taking all your jobs out of the country. They're going over, and our American companies are going across the seas. They're hiring slave labor and shipping that crap back in here to the people who are jobless and expecting us to buy it. Those companies don't pay an ounce of taxes. That's their free trade. They don't pay an ounce. That's your gas, your CAFTA, your NAFTA, etc. They don't pay an ounce of taxes, but they expect us to pay those taxes. Now, here's where I'm coming from. I've stood here and screamed and squalled and bitched and raved, and I was, wake up, damn it, wake up. Time is of the essence. Wake up, America. Wake up, people. Wake up, Latin America. Wake up, Europe. And everybody's sitting there, oh, we're making plenty of money. We don't have to worry about anything. We got the money. We're going to go sit on our big asses down the aisle and let the poor folks wait on us. Well, all this is going to come tumbling down, and they're going to be taking these suitcases full of money and heating their stoves, if they got a heating stove to cook from. Once again, you know, like Clay, I'm sitting here, and I told this associate of mine this morning, and all I asked for was enough money so I could get a print cartridge, and I'm sitting here and being told, well, have you ever thought of buying these less expensive or going online and doing this? I said, shit, I can't even afford to go online. What the hell are you talking about? I said, here, I'm sitting here, can't even afford a bottle of nail polish. Can't afford a loaf of bread. Can't afford a print cartridge. Can't afford my heart medicine. And I'm getting all this nonsense. I said, I'm going to tell you something, guys. You better listen to me and listen to the gas post. I'm getting ready to say fuck you to all of you. Because my life is important, too. My life is important, too. Now, if you haven't got enough sense, pull your goddamn self together and help save this country and help save millions of lives when the only jobs that are available to our young people is going to war and fighting some for these drug lords to bring in drugs. I said, you better wake up. You've got to wake up. If you don't, you're all in big trouble. And I'm going to say fuck you. Now, that's not a nice word for an old woman to use. But I found sometimes, Clay, that That is one of the most definitive words an old woman can use. And what do you think?
The biggest problem that I can see, Grandma, is that you've given the information, we've given the information. I don't know why I'm getting that kind of echo. But
Probably because I said the magic word. Fuck you.
the whole
Mic on?
huh? No, I don't have the mic on. I'm still getting an echo here. Let me see what's going on here.
I'm not getting an echo here, so it's on. Maybe they're changing your lines.
All right. Grandma, if people know and accept that we've got a problem, that we're being ripped off, that they're taking all of our money, they're impoverishing us, and they're killing us. Monsanto and these hospitals and the medical industry are forcing these drugs onto people, and you're paying for it with your tax dollars.
I know.
I mean, if they admit something's wrong, then they have to do something. They have to try to do something. And we are our
don't
own.
want to do anything. They want to sit on their fat asses and read novels or play games on the internet or listen to gossip on the rumor mill, etc., etc., etc. And they don't want to pay attention that their own lives are in jeopardy. And they don't. This is the mindset of people that if they came to the house and took their children away, these people would say, "Oh my goodness, the government just came and took my children," and not do a damn thing about it. We've got a generation of wimps.
Well, I tried to do something, Grandma. I went out and I started the militias after what happened in Waco because I swore I would never watch something like that happen
I
again.
never will forget Russell watching that. I sat there and I cried. And Russell said, "Mom, they were dead the minute those fumes hit them. That when they sprayed those fumes in from those tanks."
Yep.
He said they were dead he said they didn't suffer at all. I said, "Yes, but it's the principle of the thing."
You know, the ADL made a big thing out of me starting the militias in New Mexico. They just didn't tell you that I did it in the Governor Johnson's office. You know, and it's being done in Texas right now. The people are working for the sheriffs to start the militias because it's basically going to boil down to we're going to have to defend ourselves, we're going to have to defend our communities, we're going to have to defend our states, aren't we?
Well, now, I'm going to tell you something. In 1966, I started raising hell because our police departments were hiring men coming back from Vietnam because they were already trained. That's when our police departments took over that military position and where the people are the enemy. That's where we've got the military in our police departments. And this was in the 60s, and I was raising hell about it. And we're now looking at it full bore.
They already have the detention centers, so the gulags Solzhenitsyn wrote about are in existence. They can be disguised as an apartment building next door with a fence around it now, right?
Yeah, I know it. I know it. I was just looking at some of the videos on Fort Dix and the other military bases. This is just ridiculous is what's going on. I don't know how that the American people are going to, the young people don't even know what the hell they're doing. The older ones who should stand up and say, "No, stop this crap," They're sitting there with their thumb up their asses and their brains in neutral. And yes, I'm saying that to all of you. You're sitting there with your thumb up your asses and your brains in neutral. You might espouse good patriotism, but I haven't met a good patriot yet. Every time somebody comes in and tells me they're a good patriot and I'm a good Christian, I sit down on my wallet.
Well, you know what? You know, Grandma, I said I think the reason they promoted Jesus to God in 325 A.D. at the Council of Nicaea was to keep men like us from trying to emulate the type of man he was. They don't want you taking responsibility. Just give your soul to God. But hey, have you seen Jesus' ID? Who is running this? This is a scam running across us.
Well, I only know of the scam that I'm looking at that's by a pretend Mason named Gene Valentine. A pretend Mason who allegedly has been going to the Vatican. Well, you see the problems the Vatican has, don't you?
Hey,
and that's from a shithouse full of pretend Masons. That's what brought that on. Pretend Masons. Real Masons don't do that.
Now, you've turned this, we're talking about securities fraud here, attempted securities fraud, attempted, possibly even attempted kidnapping. Have you turned that into the feds?
Well, I've been reporting it, and it's supposed to be going to the feds. The judge down here, Judge Rex, declared in case 12C30 in the Burke County, West Virginia court, declared this a criminal act, and he referred it to the district attorney, and when it was really a jurisdiction of the U.S. attorney, and now he has retired, so you know where that's going. That's the one that Gene said, well, you know, I have this judge on the payroll. Yeah. And when I advised Judge Rick of that in that case, 12C30, Mr. Valentine bragging about the judges and the politicians on his contributions list, which is in violation of 18 U.S.C. 201, the judge raised up off his chair and he says, I wouldn't know Gene Valentine if he walked in that door. Well, I'll tell you what. We have another case here of Gene C. Valentine and his defrauding the senior citizens up here on this when it was a nursing home. And that's under that Financial West Group indictment. And yet Gene C. Valentine skipped and went to Europe. The sheriff's department tells me the FBI is looking for him. I said, well, they're not looking for him very damn hard, or they'd have him. He's right up here on this hill.
Yeah, Grandma, again, what is the answer here? I mean, if people can organize, if every patriot,
the same answer that when we in the 1980s, when we tried to report all of this criminal activity to the FBI, they were out selling their goddamn wares out of their trunks of their car on Wilshire Boulevard. It was too controversial. No one wanted to publicize it. They didn't want to make, and you know that, Craig. You've been there. I've been there. We all, Gunderson. Everybody thinks Ted Gunderson was such a whiz. Ted Gunderson was a cheapskate. He didn't do his goddamn job. He didn't uphold protection defend. He was too busy out there with his Kathy O'Brien stuff. Yes. And what we were reporting was too controversial. I know, I've been there. Everything was too controversial. Well, now it's gotten far more than controversial. It's become a national security problem. And where's our FBI? Sitting on their asses with their thumb up their butts and their brains in neutral. It's just like I told the Secret Service, and I'm going to get pretty naughty here right now. When they came to visit me in 2002, it was Agent Kennedy and I forget what the other one's name was. But they came to the house, and they were out of the Omaha division out there, field office. And they came to the house. And I told them, I said, you know, I used to train you guys. I said, I used to be proud of you. And I said, you are nothing to be proud of anymore. I said, you have allowed yourselves to become nothing more than cunt cow carriers for the White House. That's exactly what I told them. And I've got witnesses.
Grandma, you know, nothing happens by accident. And we've had politicians who've been trying to warn us about everything that's going on. With Obama in here, I've said Obama is actually the perfect New World Order leader.
Well, let me finish what I was saying, honey.
Go ahead, dear.
You know why, to answer your question, why we don't have our law enforcement? Because George Bush sold off those agencies in Executive Order 12803, which were agencies that were supported by the taxpayer dollars. And he sold it off. He sold off the Defense Department at the Pentagon. He sold that off. You know damn good well what happened there.
I know Dov Zakheim disappeared with $2.6 trillion.
Well, this is where our problem is. We had a president to illegally sell off taxpayers' property. He sold off our law enforcement. He sold off our court. Look how they're changing. Look how they're changing our laws and doing so unconstitutionally.
All right, hang on a second here, Grandma. Hold on. Let me get rid of a couple of these things. My guest today has been VK Durham, or Grandma. And we're just about out of time here, Grandma. I want to thank you for being on with me, and any way I can help, I will certainly do that.
Call recording has been completed.
All right. Thank you, Grandma.
Well, send me a copy of that, will you?
I certainly will, dear.
Thank you. I'm sorry I got potty mouthed.
That's all right, dear. I do that occasionally.
Okay, hon. I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was a Grandma VK Durham, holder only of the Durham Trust, which is being held somewhere else by somebody else with a lot of other things that we got no idea about. And we'll try to find out what happened to our guest today, why he couldn't answer the phone. Yes, I'm looking, you know what, I am looking for money. Yeah, I've got books to sell. Yes, I've got a lot of research that I've done. Yes, I'm doing that. Yeah, I want to sell my books. And you, have you written a book? Are you anything besides a friggin' troll? No, you're not. And so you people, tell your friends about this show. This is the Free American Hour. And yes, I do have books for sale. I have fiction books for sale that are as good as John D. MacDonald or Robert A. Heinlein. And I have nonfiction that are as good as anything Bill Cooper or David Icke has put out, called Mystery Babylon. And I do have help now. We do have a new thing. The website will be updated as the day goes on.